Hi students, welcome to BA 130. This is Introduction to Spanish Bilingual Interpreting at Santa Ana College. My name is Lilian de la Torre. I'm the instructor for this 16-week course. In this video, I'm going to review the syllabus for the class. Here you can find it in Word document. Underneath you can find it in a PDF. So please make sure you download so that you can have it readily available because you're going to have a syllabus quiz. Also at the bottom, I copy pasted the content, and then you also, here's an option if you wanted to have it read to you, you would just click on the play button, and that's the accessible course syllabus. So I would like to go over some very important dates. As you know, this class starts August 17 and we end December 5th. That is the week of finals week. So I'm going to go over when is your final date for this class. The last day to add a class is August 30th for the 16-week classes, and the last day to drop with a W is November 18th. Now, do know that for those students that do not participate in the discussion the first week, by a directive of the business division and the business applications and technology department, I have to drop you as a no-show if you do not participate the first week. And then if you participate and then stop participating for 2 weeks, you're a no-show, you don't communicate with me, then I do have to drop you from the class. Unfortunately, some students start really, really well, and then for some reason they stop attending in the middle of the semester, and then they end up getting a W, because if you, the last drop date with a W is November 18th. And then the last day to get a refund is the last day to drop the class, which is August 30. So very important that you have these dates available for you here so that you can reference them. Attendance policy, this is an asynchronous class. We do not meet. However, you are expected to engage and have online discussions. I will also have discussions with you, and we're going to be communicating. I will be giving you feedback in your assignments. Very interactive in terms of the group activities that we have. And we want to make it a high quality online course. So that's why we have student to student communication and instructor to student communication via the discussion and other assignments. So it's very important for you to participate on a weekly basis. Otherwise, you'll miss very important points. I have an open door policy. Please, if there's something, life happens, if there are any situations that come up, either at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the semester, do communicate them with me, and then we'll try to find a way so that you can still be successful in this class. Academic honesty policy, please make sure you read this, because especially now with AI, more and more students are using it in unethical ways. So I just want to make sure that you learn the techniques to do the interpreting and translations yourself. You can, we do encourage the use of AI, but only as a learning tool, not to do the interpreting and the translation. So the worst thing and the disservice that you do to yourself is to submit something that you just ask AI to interpret or to translate, and then you just submit as your own work. So you need to know the techniques that are in the syntax that is going to be involved when you do either a Spanish to English translation or vice versa. So please make sure you read that AI statement there. If you have an accommodation request, please make sure you provide me with that right from the beginning. I want to work with you, and I want to make sure that you're successful, and we'll make every accommodation needed. The sexual harassment policy, also, you need to be very cordial, and we need to have good internet policies so that we are respectful, and we agree to disagree in a very respectful way. So make sure that you read here what is the etiquette for an online course. So in this class, because this is the intro class, we're going to go over the majority of the industries that require interpreters, but we're going to do them by topic. So we'll have 3 weeks. We're going to start first with talking about what are the differences between an interpreter and a translator. Even though I use them interchangeably, there's a huge difference. So why is colloquial language important? So here we're going to talk about culture the first week. The second week, even though this class does not teach grammar, because you are expected to be fluent in either in Spanish and actually both in Spanish and English to be able to do translations in both languages. But it is important for us to go over some of the the mistakes that are most commonly made by students throughout the years, because I want you, as the lessons learned, to not make them. So we'll dedicate just one brief module to just a grammar refresher. What are some of the main mistakes made in English, and what are some of the main mistakes made in Spanish? And I'm going to be providing you with study guides for all the quizzes. So everything, you're going to be provided with material. Yes, I do have some text in the PowerPoints that might be heavy, but that's because this is an asynchronous class. You need to take a lot of notes, and I want you to have the notes there in the bullets. After we go over the grammar, we're also going to talk about the industry. What is the job outlook for various industries for interpreters? And then we're going to talk about the importance of social media and marketing and what are some of the opportunities in that industry. In crisis interpreting, what like, for example, when COVID happened, many interpreters were caught off guard because they were not used to, they didn't even know how to do Zoom interpreting. So we'll go over the Zoom interpreting techniques there, and the features, and what are some of the programs out there for crisis interpreting. And we'll talk about three modules about interpreting for education, and then we're going to do three modules in the medical field. And then the last three modules have to do with legal interpreting. You will do a couple of arraignment and a mock and a mock trial assignment. Very brief, nothing major, but I do want you to get acquainted with the legal and the medical terminologies, even though you're going to branch out and you're going to take a whole semester of medical interpreting, a whole semester of legal interpreting. I want you to have a very strong foundation. And then your final exam for this class, your final exam is scheduled on December 3rd, and it's due at 11:59. And then my grades are going to be due to admissions and records on the 10th, and you're able to see them in self-service. So basically, in a nutshell, this is pretty much a summary of what you're going to be exploring and learning. I'm really excited about this learning journey with you. I know most of you come from different backgrounds, educational backgrounds as well. And I'm really excited that we're all going to be learning from each other, and you're going to be tapping into your bilingual talents. Thank you.